If you remember back to me and Brandon's triple shot for The Flash, I had low expectations. So low, in fact, that I decided not to go to theaters to watch The Flash. And after it released on Max, I still had hesitations and reservations due to my unease of the character, given how I wasn't a fan of Ezra Miller in Justice League, and the trailers just didn't do anything for me. But I watched it, and after the open rolls, I will break down my thoughts on The Flash, the movie. It's just, I had to put some distance between the watching and the recording of the review because I don't have nice things to say about The Flash. But like I said, after the open rolls, I'll go into more detail. The Flash, released in 2023 and ran 2 hours 24 minutes. I feel like the multiple logo of the multiple visual logos of the Warner Brothers represents the different worlds that this movie is going to either hint at or show. But overall, I am not looking forward to the idea of this thing that I was scared about watching from the start running 2 hours and 24 minutes. So, not a good sign. Immediately, just like I always think, Ezra Miller is not playing Barry Allen. The visuals of the running are okay, but I just can't get behind Miller's performance. There's a line that says, Falcone's idiot kid stole a virus. Alright, that's a fine setup to what villains be doing, I guess. Is it just me, or does Barry keep acting like things just aren't important, like that he's above it all? I don't like that. The folks that made this seem to me as if they wanted to make a Batman movie more than they wanted to make a Flash film. Because Ben Affleck is getting the good stuff, whereas the Flash is not. I'm not usually one to complain about effects, but this baby shower scene, as they call it, really friggin' sucks. It's not amusing, and this is, to me, like the worst thing that I've seen in quite some time. The baby's falling, it took me so far out. I probably would have turned this off if it wasn't for the channel. That's how bad I thought this whole sequence was. Diana shows up. Nice to have you, Wonder Woman. And of course, they had to make not funny so-called jokes with the lasso of truth because it's the only thing that writers seem to know what to do with that piece of extra addition to her character. So Barry works in the least cop-looking police station I've ever seen. I am not a fan of any of these people that work at this so-called police station. We see Iris West on the outside of the police station, and she remembers Barry from school, but he doesn't seem to remember her, or he is just an idiot. That's always a possibility when it comes to this film and that character. The first time I feel like Barry is relatable is when he tells Iris, I have no official comment at this time due to him not trusting her since she works for the paper. I thought, okay, well, at least I can understand where you're coming from, crime scene guy. I like how the actor who is playing Barry's dad is, well, he just seems to be the best part of the movie so far. When we flash back to both the young Barry and Nora Allen stuff, he's great, but also I like him just he's a good actor. He's done good work. And I really enjoy the young Barry Allen and the young Allen family. I'll even grant that the trauma could have made Barry odd in his adulthood. I'm just not a fan of Ezra Miller's performance. More creepy, out of time running junk. It just does not get better. I'm a big fan of Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. He gives a great speech. "You don't want to live in your past" is a great line from Bruce to Barry. This movie makes Barry seem like he's on crack or something. I don't know. Like, he just feels like a drug addict the way that he interacts with people and carries himself. I hate to say it, but I almost feel as though this Barry Allen is an idiot and he's just not funny. The Iris isn't as annoying as she was in the TV show, so that's some sort of compliment, I guess. But the Barry is so unbearable that it makes it such a struggle. And I hate the visualization of him moving through time. It's just not good. The movie is ugly and frustrating on a regular basis. I get missing your mom. I do that all the time, and it is bad. I can get that. But this was done so much better in the Flashpoint Paradox, the animated movie, and it just makes me want to put that on because at least the story was done well within that. Evil Barry knocking so-called hero Barry out of the Speed Force was kind of lame. I still like Henry Allen, and Nora she's really sweet. So, at least those two characters and the actors portraying them doing a good job. Barry talking to Barry is so dumb. I am not a fan of Ezra Miller's laugh, and having Ezra Miller doubly on screen at the same time, big problem. You do you, change nothing, see you never. Okay, that was at least an amusing way of putting it. And then out of time Barry asking what day is it, and in time Barry saying Sunday. No, the date was a good line. This past Barry is not just lame, but he's so dumb. Am I supposed to feel something for any of these people? Something other than irritated? Because that's all they make me do is feel irritated. Yeah, irritation is the only emotion or feeling that's coming to mind. Oh, great. Today is Man of Steel Day. Well, of course, this movie has to take me to a place where I don't ever want to be again. Before I continue the review of The Flash, I've got to talk to you about why this channel exists. And that's because I, Oz, from the channel Mr. Super Oz, I wrote a 68-page graphic novel called Everlasting Survivors. Volume 1 is called All Day Long. There are multiple cover options if you follow the link in the description of the video. You can also get hats and shirts and posters and all kinds of fun things. I really don't want to go back to the review, but let's finish it up, get it over with. The Flash. The more time I spend in the Man of Steel day, universe, time, whatever, the more I just feel like it was done improperly. And that's why I'm not a fan of Man of Steel. It feels like the worst of DC. None of this is fun, and Barry is trying. I mean, I guess he's trying, but he's just a pest to me. Barry and the other Barry go to Wayne Manor, but it appears abandoned. The introduction of Old Man Bruce is, to me, not good. Yeah, this movie treats everyone just badly. Michael Keaton explaining the timeline isn't terrible, but it's still just a little frustrating. Bruce wouldn't/shouldn't say pass when asked to help. Not my Bruce, not a Bruce Wayne that I have ever read. I don't think he'd just be like, "Oh, pass." Dumb Barry and Powerless Barry break into the Batcave, and it's stupid. Bruce should have just wanted to help them and help the world in general. That would have then not made them have to break in. They would have had a reason to go to the Batcave. Powerless Barry is so mad at Dumb Barry for not appreciating what he has, but Dumb Barry doesn't even know what Powerless Barry doesn't have. So I can see why Dumb Barry doesn't understand. This movie has driven me to start drinking, which is not good at all. Powerless Barry motivates Bruce to help by invoking the memory of Alfred and the Waynes. I'm glad Keaton's Batman is not a quitter, but Dumb Barry is completely unbearable. Nothing feels monumental. Everything is just treated so bad as if it's a joke. But it isn't funny. This is The Flash. It isn't The Flash. It's the drag. Because that's all this movie does. It just drags on and on. It goes on for way too long. And so even when Supergirl, even when she's introduced, somehow she knows how to fly, even though it seems as though she's been locked up forever. She understands English. I don't understand how I don't know. None of it makes any sense. A Kryptonian ship has been kept imprisoned forever. Yeah, she's just experiencing everything for the first time, yet she's also just perfectly fine and able to do everything. It isn't as though, I don't know, none of it makes any sense. And here's another big question I have. Why is this Supergirl not just instantly on the same side as Zod? I mean, she has no ties to humanity. I'm glad that they got something accurate. In this case, they got right is that Powerless Barry doesn't get his powers back on the first attempt at trying. That's something that the Justice League Flashpoint Paradox did very well, which is showing that Barry was so willing to suffer to get his powers back that he had to suffer more than once. But oddly enough, Supergirl gets him struck by lightning, but to help him get his powers back, but somehow she didn't need the chemicals for him to get his powers. I don't understand. Like, did the people writing this not realize? I mean, if you just picked up the Flashpoint Paradox, you would see that he recreated the accident with the chemicals and the lightning strike. How hard is this? It's so frustrating. Why did Barry not need it? Like, we're I don't know. It's dumb. And they tell another attempt at a joke when Barry with his powers back is trying to hype up his team of dumb Barry, Supergirl, who I don't know why she cares about humanity, and retired Batman says, "We're short a friendly Terminator and a super mermaid." Okay, I guess. If that's supposed to get me all jazzed, it didn't. The only question I have is, will the final 30 minutes do something to pull this thing out of the trash? Because right now, I want to give this a fail or even below, because that's how I feel about it, is that the movie is a failure. Zod kills Kara and Bruce. Bruce crashes his Batplane seconds apart. It's stupid. It's as if, why did Barry even go recruit them if they're no good at anything? And man, this movie doesn't it doesn't even treat time travel very well, because everything just seems stuck. And no matter how many times Dumb Barry goes back and changes it and changes it and changes it, Zod still kills Kara, and Batman still dies, yet, like, it's all for nothing. And I guess that's all just to show that Barry's real nemesis is Barry. But, I mean, I didn't like either Barry to begin with, so why should I care? It's also stupid. And the Jay Garrick, the George Reeves, the Christopher Reeve, Helen Slater, the Adam West, even the Nicolas Cage Superman cameos, if you will. They're all just a cheap, lazy trick. None of it was earned. This whole thing just feels so worthless. And it just makes me sad. I like the Flash the character, and there's some great stories, but this is not one of them. There's a thing toward the end where Barry gets to go back in time. The good one, the better one, I guess, if you can call one of them good. Barry gets to go back in time, and he hugs his mom. And this one scene has pulled the movie out of the complete and utter hate department and sat it in the 1 out of 5 star fail department. It still fails, but this one scene is the one thing that stops me from hating it, because Nora Allen is worthwhile and Henry Allen was good. And had it not been for this scene, and let's be honest, if it hadn't been my relatability to the scene where I wish that I could go, be with my mom one more time and just be like, I miss you. And it's just, yeah. So if it wasn't for that, this thing would have absolutely gotten an even worse score, probably a hate, but I'll give it a 1 out of 5. It's a failure, but they got one thing right. And speaking of something they got right, Barry being stuck in the Batman and Robin universe with, bat nips and Arnold Schwarzenegger's over the top performance, that seems like it was a well earned consequence. And speaking of consequences, I really hope that Ezra Miller gets recast and we can get a good Barry Allen going forward, because this was not quality cinema. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you come back on Tuesday and Thursday. See you Friday. Later.